Like, this isn't enough water to flush our toilet.
What do they want? Us to be net importers of Chinese food, filthy food from overseas?
And now they're selling the water and leaving the farms dry.
I feel we've been abandoned. Simply.
This is the human face of a tragedy being played out in farming communities across Australia.
Now, how about we start operating as Australians instead of playing sneaky, dirty, nasty politics?
Thousands of farmers robbed of the most vital necessity, fresh water. It's being sold to big spending companies like Timbercorp and Macquarie Bank to use on their own investment crops. These farmers are just metres from the precious resource that could save their life and their farms. They can see it, but can't touch it. The state and federal governments have stopped some farmers from using their irrigation licences through weirs like this, which divert water. While we pay for our water after we use it, irrigation farmers prepay to use a set amount, thousands upon thousands of dollars each year.
This is one of 3 replacement weirs set to be constructed in the local area. Unlike the old one, which leaked and allowed some water to flow down the creek, this concrete wall doesn't allow a single drop of water to escape. The effects are proving to be detrimental.
It's terrible. Before Christmas, it absolutely stank because of the dead fish and the dead turtles dying in the creek.
The kids have had ear infections, throat infections.
Hold my hand. Dave and Kim Somerville's kids now bathe from stagnant pools of algae-covered creek water.
We've tried to save the water as much as possible. Like, the kids aren't having baths anymore. Like, they're having quick two-second showers, hopping in and hopping out straight away.
Like dragging out.
They are just one of around 100 families who depend on the local creeks for household use and irrigation. They've prepaid for their water, but they can't get a drop.
They can't take it away from the cities. Why should they take it away from us?
More than 10% of our population lives on the Murray-Darling River systems that span nearly 7,000 kilometres. It equates to 40% of our agricultural and crop income.
Why is it called the food bowl of Australia? Why do we have a quarter of all Australia's cattle, 2/3 of all Australia's crops? It is the food bowl, and we're being starved to death.
Deniliquin is 2 hours northwest of the New South Wales and Victorian border. The area is still experiencing the worst drought on record. Despite this, townspeople can water their gardens 4 nights a week. Just 20 kilometres down the road, they can't even have a shower.
What we know is if we don't act now, things will get worse.
Federal Minister for Climate Change and Water, Penny Wong, has dedicated $3 billion to buy irrigation rights to help the environment by pushing more water down the Murray-Darling Basin. It's estimated up to 80% of water sold out of the Goulburn-Murray area was bought by corporations like Timbercorp and Macquarie Agribusiness. The water's sent to their timber plantations, almond, grape and olive farms in Victoria and South Australia.
Do you think it's fair that companies like Macquarie and Timbercorp can water their own investments, yet families and farmers are walking off the land daily?
Well, look, yeah, I've seen firsthand some of the consequences of climate change and drought in those communities, and people are doing it very tough.
Forget the farmers in Australia. I don't think they want us on the land. They make everything really hard, really hard.
Single mum and farmer Rosemary Shamov has an irrigation licence but can't use it. She was recently denied a $3,000 government grant to drill a bore that would save her farm.
The cattle were starting to scour from the very filthy water, so we were diluting that with buckets of water from our precious drinking tank, which was not just backbreaking but quite heartbreaking too.
The part-time teaching work she took up to keep her small farm alive deemed her ineligible. The $30,000 cost dried up her savings.
We stand together as a community and we just feel ground down, and we do feel that decisions are made, inequitable decisions.
How desperate are these farmers?
They're really desperate. There's even been talks of threats of using dynamite to blow up the weir. The weir's already been tampered with a few times.
For the 2 million people who rely on the Murray-Darling River systems, the message couldn't be clearer.
Come back to Australia, Kev, folksy Kev, and come back and talk to us folk and see if we can get a sensible solution out of it. Do it for us.